miss those chances,
Yeah, that was good, man. And then we went camping, and man, everything reversed. So yeah, I'm not going camping again with kids until they're older. It'll be difficult.
I'm already Shorty.
All right. Well, let's take a look at it here. So obviously, you guys saw what happened Friday, right? And I would say, was it expected that they're going to run that much? No. Was I expecting that they're going to recover some of it? Yes, we went long at the reclaim of previous POC or previous week POC. I think it was lower, somewhere around 2 something here, 211-ish. But then we targeted, I believe, 25, and then man, they just kept going, right? So if you guys look at this on a daily, we split it by blocks. I think you're gonna see the M period have a little spike. So here's your M period. 100% sure this is it. So this is where your spike starts, and this is gonna be probably the most important level you're gonna be watching tomorrow. Is there anyone confused why?
If you could go over, it'd be a little helpful.
Sure. So LeBron's learning TPO, so we'll go do it slowly for him. Okay. So let me go increase this spikes or the ticks a little bit. And I'm only going to cover ES tonight. I'm exhausted, and tomorrow morning I'll hop on 20 minutes early. We'll do ES. So here's your profile for the day. And as you guys know, each letter represents where the price traded for that, how much time that is spent at that level, right? So now if you look here on VNLM period, we had price spent levels here. So about an hour and a half, it's been in this area. And then you see here, right, it spent some time in this, and that's most of the time, and this is your POC for the day. So when you split by the blocks, right, you're looking to see where do we have single prints. Single prints mean, like, for instance, if we never went back and reclaimed, let's say, this B high, which is a 55, this would have been our access high, because this means everything above here is single prints. And when you turn on the candles, let's switch this to 30 minutes. So this is just a 30-minute candle. If I was to turn it on, but I'll take away this TPO. This is just your 30-minute candle here. And this is another 30-minute candle, and so on. So now when you look at it, M period started going away from all the highs. And you see how, slowly they started going from the VPOCs here. They started making higher highs, right? They had an inside bar, and this was a good area that they're most likely going to run here. And then they continued. But here's your spike, is when the M period, the last period of the day, is breaking from high or low of the day. And that's exactly what happened here. This is your A high period. And then this is your, we had the F, the low. If we went reverse, this would have been a bearish spike, because we went higher, right? We broke the period, the highest period you have on that day, RTH session, and you went above an M period. That's what you mark as a spike. And it can be a bearish spike or a bullish spike. In this case, we have a bullish spike. And then this went all the way, I would say, what is this, 53 somewhere. I thought it was higher, but let's see. We'll put it here for a moment. So as long as they open where, it's good, meaning it's bullish. Or if they can auction, don't mistake them by opening. They can dip inside here tomorrow and do this, and that will be still very bullish, right?
As long as we hold that spike base, and well, ideally above the spike, but as long as the spike base is held, we're okay.
Yeah, as long as we hold this, because what this tells you psychologically and what happens on the order flows. So let's talk about that so you guys can fully understand it. So in order for them to spike here, right, higher than this level, they had to find what type of buyer?
Initiative.
It had to be a lot of initiative buyers, right? Because if there's no initiation, what would have happened here? Let's say they brought it, it's unusual to see these type of days. This only happens 12% of the time. So and I don't know if you guys saw my post, but 5245 calls on SPX.
Oh my God.
Went from 0.10 to 44. So $10 to 4,000 and $400.
That's insane.
Yeah, so $1,000 would have given you $500,000. But to catch this, And I just bring it up to tell you how crazy the move is, not to seek for the move to make you rich. It really is a rare opportunity, right? And sometimes, sure, you can throw $10, and most of us, if I was throwing $10 and it goes up to 100, I take that. But to sit there and expect this to run from 52 to 50, 100 points reversal, I don't know. If somebody says they caught all of it, maybe they're not being honest. But okay. So
A rare day.
Yeah, it's only 12% of the time or less, because this was being accepted, right? I mean, your IB was set here, we went lower, and they accepted it, and then once they reclaimed it, this is where trouble started for the bears, because all the bears closed their puts, right? And basically they're free to fly, and here you go. That's what you get. So if this is some kind of spike tomorrow, this is the level we want to hold. 52.70, I would say, to all the way. They want to be. If they open here and they play in here, you don't have justification to just short yet. And on the weekly level prior, I don't know if you guys remember, we had a level here, 53.06-ish or so.
Oh, 650.
Yeah, 0650, somewhere here that said that, the bulls really want to be above that. Because if you're above this, I think on my notes it said that we're hitting new all-time high, but we'll find that level. So this is your spike. Does that help, James? No, he's quiet.
There was a
It does help.
There was a buy and tail from the 28th, from 299 to 305.
Yeah.
306.
Yeah, there were some single prints in here as well that I was watching here. This one here, I think it went up to 306.05 is correct.
It seems kind of like I don't know, out of the park just because we're so far away. But would you mark the single prints from the F period at the bottom? At the bottom of the move, there were just some single prints down there. Would that not? Yeah.
Yeah, that's your excess low, right?
Okay, that's
your daily excess low, right? So this means that there's other time frame buyers that stepped in and they're participating in the auction when the price went below. We wanted to go higher, so other time frame participants were there, right? And I would say this level was not a shock to, at least it wasn't to me, that we were going to get buyers. I had this zone marked here as a prior week POC on here. So typically, and I even mentioned it when we were trading, I was like, if we lose this, reclaim it, watch out, right? And actually, I took that for 14 points. I took it from here to like 25-ish. That's where our friend Sonny lost 3 bets in a row. So now, when you look at this, you have a massive excess low, and then you have this really large, I would call it spike base, right? And when you look above here, what do you see? What do you guys see when you zoom out a little bit here? I'm just going to zoom out. I'm going to take off the dailies for a moment so you guys can focus on.
That area is where we were trading for 10 or 11 days, and the first SIG's about 53.12.
Back in the upper area of the distribution?
Yep.
And this is your upper distribution. So it's the same concept, if you guys remember, that we had here. Do you guys remember when we said, when we were trading below here, I said, I forgot the level. We had a level that marked here. Maybe it was somewhere here. Don't quote me. I can find it. But I said, if we crack this, there's a high chance we go in the top distribution here. And nonetheless, we cracked that level. We went to the top distribution. So now, for me, if you can hold above this, let's say 299, 306, if you can clear this, there's a high chance you're going to be putting in a new all-time high. And the only difference between this top and this top is what? Look carefully. What is the difference?
Excess.
There you go.
We have a poor high?
We had a poor high here. We have a poor high here, but yeah. Here you had multiple. You had 3 weeks of poor high. 1, 2, 3, right? Each one of them was a poor high. And here you have a little bit of excess. Remember when we talked about if we wanted to short this in one of the watch lists, I said, well, we want to make sure that we peak above and then they give us a tail. And I explained this multiple drawings for you guys, and hopefully it clicks. So now if they come here what do you expect the sellers to do? These sellers didn't have it. Well, this guy has something to defend. Now we're going to watch and see, if we can be accepted above 306, we're hitting 322, 323 easy. Above that, you're being accepted in this distribution, right? And then you could go to VRVP and kind of look at the volume. Did I delete it? I'll just lower this. So now you'll see, right, when you zoom out a little bit, you'll be able to see the distributions of volume. So here we're in a skinny belly, right? You almost see that 306, we're kind of marking that here. If you're able to crack above that, now you're playing in the top final distribution. So I think this 306, and we'll zoom in a little bit here on these, on the weeklies, just to make sure that we have them right. But I believe that was the level that I had charted on my, it had to be somewhere here. So here's the low, it was somewhere around here. And I would just mark this one here if you can. This is your poor high. Right here you'll have
That's the previous all-time high too.
Yep. That's right here. I'm just gonna hide these for a second. So on weeklies, I mean, obviously there's some single prints here. You see them, but not a lot, right? On, I don't even know, it doesn't matter which period, but it looks like on C period here, there's a little bit of single prints here. They would probably want to hold that, right? If you're thinking about distributions and the profile that they have, you see how clear they got it? One, then they have the second one, and then they have the third one. Does that look visual and easy for you guys to understand what that means? See if I can give you a better look on that daily.
What was your 255 level from again?
Hold on, it was Axis.
Okay, yeah.
So this goes the way here to the high. There you go, one, make sure the levels match. Okay, so that C period, I think can be used as a division, right, between the two values, especially here. So if you look at it, as long as they hold 70 to this level, 78, it'll be bullish because this spike is fairly large, I would say. This is a massive spike here, right? So if you look at it, what is this? I don't know what the 299 was, though. That's my problem. I got to mark these things. Oh, that's what it was. That's end period.
Would you go so far as to add like a price range off that 70.50 to 78 just to mark it?
Say it again.
Would you the 70.25 spike base you set up to 78? Would you go so far as to add like the colored zone, the spike or the price range color zone onto it?
Yep.
Okay. Your charts are just really clean, like not a lot of clutter.
I try not to, and I try to keep some of the other knowledge, not from you guys, but like in my head where I don't have to think about it. And it really makes you put the story together instead of seeing a bunch of stuff on the chart. You have to understand the chart and what it's telling you instead of seeing a level and then what am I supposed to do with it? Not every level on the chart carries the same weight. Does that make sense? Some levels are, I even tell you that there's a chance of a bounce here, but I don't care because it's going to go to the bottom. And remember on NQ when we were playing that rejection on Friday, I said it's going to go here and we were targeting the bottom, right? And even on, I know that was ES. We were targeting 52.12 on ES from, I don't even know when. And I thought we had the similar chart on NQ. We were targeting same setup on NQ and it played out. Is there levels of minor bounce? Yeah, smaller counts, you take profit. You have runners, you let them run. And that's why I don't mark necessarily every level. I don't know if this 306 is going to be important at all, actually.
That was from the K period last Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah, it was here. It had to be this period here, this single print here. I period. Yeah, I don't think it carries much importance. So as long as they go above 299, high chance we're going to hit this 32, which should be a prior all-time high. And then when you guys look at these weeks, right, this will be your 3-week POC at this level here. If you're long and you're approaching this level, I would say probably desirable that you take something off here, right? As you come in, people that didn't think it was fair before, now that we are coming from the bottom, they're most likely going to have their sells and start selling. If we can't get a drastic, rejection here, that means that there's a high chance of a creep higher, meaning they're just going to do this, and then a spike, and then continue, right?
We're at 304 right now, Shorty.
We're at 304.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be shocked if they do it overnight to 322. That's not much for them. So
The spike was from 52.70 to 99 or 06 or 06.
99.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm going by the volume profile.
Yeah. And now when you look at this is your 3-week 1 sig here, and then you'll have the 3-week sig 1 on the top. Even though the price action right now might seem like we're going through the moon, keep in mind that you're in balance. And I've been trying to teach you guys when it's in balance like we are now, you really don't have to pick too aggressively when you're going to take a trade. When we were here, when we had the tail, we talked about, hey, SPX puts, SPY options puts, even QQQ puts were on the table. Not bad to enter as soon as we go above and fail. Now we got inside here. As you approach again to this level, let's see how they do. Right, they have this massive access high at the top. Let's see, we'll just mark it so you guys know what it is. So now if they come here and they're not able to absorb this, they just peak and fail, they might be setting up for another longer dated sell-off. And I don't know what the cause was behind technical. I just think on Friday when we were selling off, we had a lot of poor structure that we left. Right, intraday poor structure, and they came back and cleaned up. That means there's not a lot of sellers left at the lower levels. So if that's the case, where are the sellers then?
At the top.
Yeah,
most likely
sitting at the top, right? And if you guys remember when we drew the 3 weeks or a year-to-date profile, do you guys recall that? When I went on the monthly, and I even showed you that we were on the monthly year-to-date. So if this is your monthly chart here, right? If you guys look. So let's say we grab, what are we in June? We'll just grab. So this is our 3 months value area, right? And I want to bring up something we talked about. Remember we talked about these zones and how some of them can act like bounces, right? Do you guys recall that? The price can quickly dip between them, right? If it catches steam in the low volume nodes, and then they catch on those high volume nodes. I said, ultimately they're going to eventually drive to this bottom level, but it does not happen like in a straight shot. Market doesn't operate like, okay, we're targeting value area low at the bottom, we're headed there. No, I mean, they got to take liquidity. They got to take liquidity from every aspect, from buyers, sellers, deliver the pain, and then they go, right? Right now, if you're trading, I would say RTH 300, there's a high chance that they want to sweep this, right? So I would say you're considering May is done. Right, your May POCs here, value area is high at the top, and the value area low is sitting at 50-something to 18. So now, if let's say they can't break the value area high to the top side of this month, and hold above, that's a fairly bearish, sign. Here they had the value area shift. This one actually shifted higher for the month of May, right? So that's very bullish. And if they hold it here on a monthly time frame, is there anything bearish there? This would be not very bearish. This would be, strictly bullish price action if they're able to do that. So keep that in mind on a higher picture, right? In the monthly, we're in balance. We're shifting the value area higher. I would say it's a pretty healthy shift. When you look at the, a little bit of overlap, value area higher high, higher lows, POC shifted as well. I would say they closed, with this crazy spike on Friday, they closed on a pretty high price, right? If they closed on the bottom here, that would have been pretty interesting, right? You opened on the bottom here and you're closing here. Okay, still bullish, but not as bullish once you execute that spike. You're closing to the top here. So pretty interesting, right? And then between the months, right? If you look at this, open, close, and then they opened here and they closed here. They're still not higher close than the prior month. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's something to keep an eye on as we're auctioning. And then when you look at this, volume profile here, and that's the main reason why I like it. This area right here, this is your separation of value, right? You see how, maybe even bigger now when I look at it like this. So right here where we said prior, they got to crack through this zone to be accepted, because when it's a high volume node, that means that they accepted the price, right? So if they can crack above this node here, we're going to trade here. And most likely we're going to make a new all-time high. And I think this all-time high is actually higher on ETH. Maybe I'm double check.
It is. It's
pretty sure we reached higher, but
53.68.75 in ETH is what I got.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it went, yeah, exactly. It went all the way. Yep, 68.25. So I wouldn't be shocked if, we don't have a poor high. We have it on the prior week, but not 3 weeks in a row. If they go for that poor high fix here, especially, and look what they're doing right now, ATH. They just peaked above and they're not able to go. So if they go above this overnight, 308, high chance they're going to do this here. So just FYI. So for me, what are the key levels you want to watch for tomorrow? Just to kind of conclude it so you guys are not lost.
5270, 5306.
Erase 306. 270 is correct.
Okay, yeah, 5270, 5308.
It goes all the way to this range. I would call this a zone of prior hit. The end.
So from 99 to 308.
Yeah,
306.
Yeah, somewhere I have it 0875. I would say that's a range where you want to be careful trading too much, and it's not enough points for you guys to even do anything useful, because it's going to be a little choppy as you get inside the zone. And you see here they're spiking, they're rejecting right now all the way here. So most likely they're headed to 95, and it depends, how they arrive here. But that might not be a bad overnight long here. If they come to this level, leave it here, and you could catch 22 points, and you're done as you wake up. Okay, so as long as we hold this, we're looking for longs. If they crack below this, they have a lot to fix. So if you think about this, let's just draw a profile from here to here and see what they have to fix. The whole thing. They would have to basically fix, let's say if they lose this 82, what is this, 82.75? Your ears, as I say, should perk up and be like, there's something wrong in the auction, meaning the sentiment changed a little bit. Because if they can crack this level here, high chances you're going to hit this. Would I personally scalp this? Yes. Would I be careful and close my shorts at these levels right here? Yeah, high chance, because in this zone, the only way I can know where the buyers were is how?
Footprints.
Footprints. Yeah, I would have to go back to the footprints and see if there's any, imbalances, meaning aggressive buyers had to show up here. And I would say, if I was to look at this chart, how would I find it? I would find there's two ways to find it. Take the body of this, and just find the 50% of this one, and you would most likely find somewhere at 275 that they're going to be around that level in here. The buyers can be expected to be in this range. And I usually do that for bodies of the candles, okay? And somebody last time asked, how do you save these as templates? Here's your quick lesson. So you see how I have 50%, and I have a template that says only 50%. If I wanted to save this one as new 50%, I can save this as new 50%, and I can mark it as red. And we'll just save it as, where's the new one? Let's see.
Got it for your fib, Shorty?
Yeah, I'm just saving here. So I just saved new 50%. And now when you right click here, template, you can apply, extensions, or I can go back to 50%. So I don't have to click a bunch of buttons, right?
Yeah.
That's how I
And
do
then-
it. So,
And you
Hey,
just took
Shorty?
the candle.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
How'd you get the TPO up on top by where it says candles, candle types?
Right here.
Yeah. How'd you do that?
If you
The
scroll
TPO.
down, then there is something called time price opportunity. That's your TPO.
No, I mean, how'd you get it up there?
How did I get it up there?
Trading View put
Yeah.
it there.
Trading view.
Yeah, they added it there. I didn't add it there. They added it there as a feature.
Oh.
Yeah, like when you on the candle feature.
You can favorite it and it'll be right up there, like next to the candle thing.
Yep, you can do this. Where is it? Like this. And now it's 3 of these.
He has a whole YouTube video on his channel that it runs through how to set it up and everything too.
Yep, I'll try to find the link. See, I can post it.
So you just took that 350 candle and fibbed the candle
The body.
base
Yeah, the
body.
body.
Okay.
Yep.
And
I
then,
wanna
did you
know where
pick
they
that
are.
candle because it went through that zone?
I picked this candle because this is another candle where they initiated buying, because if this was my top, which was our swing high,
Mm.
that means they had to come in here with initiation. So I know it's this candle that has an imbalance. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
This candle absorbed below and didn't have enough momentum or time. This candle had, and I'm interested to know what this 350 candle has.
Good question.
So as long as they hold this, I would say, guys, this level here of 32, 33, which happens to be your May POC, high probability we're going to hit it. Then you have the weekly poor high, and you don't have to treat this as like this. It's going to, if you're going long, let's say we get a nice retest by some luck tomorrow, they offer us this here. You can just buy one MES. Buy one MES here. And let's say you give it 15 points. If you're giving 15 points, what does your reward have to be?
30, 45.
Well, I mean, just think, does it make sense in probabilities terms to do that? Well, let's see. If you're let's say you're targeting this one here, and you're giving them this. Is this good?
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys. I mean, you can make some money. You can take 3 times your money on MES. I mean, this is not a bad trade. So, and some of you that struggle with holding, runners, size down as much as you can, and you can't go lower than MES. Go there and just take it long and just walk away. I did not get into grass cutting by choice. I got it because of trading. Because I would also be glued to a screen and watching each trade, and I would get a reaction at my level. And I'm like, oh my God, it's going down. Let me close it here for profits, till you get a little better, right? And then you start enjoying seeing your runner catch 30, 40, 100 points on NQ or 20, 30 on ES. And it's by me not looking at it, not reacting to every candle. And the best thing you can do is, honestly, if you want the runners to run, trade 10 minutes. Try trading tomorrow 10 minutes, candles, and size down as much as you can and play the major levels. And you will see how relaxed you will be, and your profits will be much better, I promise. So try those 2 things and see how your behavior and how your result changes as a trader. A lot of you guys are glued to the screen and looking to take a trade, to be in a trade at all times. There's no reason to be looking to be in a trade. You're only in a trade when your setup is there. If there's no setup there, do I scalp? I would say a lot. Yeah, if I'm bored and I'm with you guys on I just can't like look at the chart and not trade. So typically if I say I'm off, I made decent profits and I just don't want to give anything back, not even small. It's not a bad idea for you guys to size down, increase the time frame. Even, I know Dino uses 15 minutes and he's done pretty well with that. Use 15 minutes. It doesn't matter, 15 minutes still a big time frame, big confirmation. And even if you just base it a little bit of candles and understanding of them, look at this hammer print on 15 minutes on the bottom here. So think about this. I mean, and maybe some of us use that up, to play it on Friday, right? So this was the trade that I took here. My stop loss was not here, but look, what if you gave them this 2.25 on the risk reward here? Once you broke this hammer, you went higher and you're targeting, you could have targeted, if you're playing structural, you would have targeted this, right? You would have targeted 33 if you're playing this setup based on candles and based on lower highs. That would have been your level. And I mean, that's a 3.5 reward on 15 minutes. And I'm telling you, statistics and trading work in your favor. And it's same in here, right? If you look at it this way, right? You're consolidating for a minute. I'm just going to remove this extend. I'm just trying to make you guys understand that not everything has to be perfect in one strategy that you're using. I combine multiple things in my head when I'm trading. Like I'm here, I'm seeing a consolidation here, right? And I see that we have a retest. Well, once you break this level, can you take a short? Yeah, if I take a short here, right, I can target the bottom of this liquidity zone and that'll be big, but that's a structural trading. That's just naked trading. And if I remove all of this, could I trade naked? Yeah, I would not have any issues. The only reason why I add volume and TPOs is because it gives me a little bit more accuracy to know where the value is being found. I can't tell really where's the value here. You can by looking at when you zoom out, right? How do I know where's value now? How do you know without looking at anything here, where's value?
Highs and lows? Or
Probably
Where
at
it's
the top.
consolidating.
Yeah.
It's the consolidations. You only remember when we are happy, when the short-term traders come in, they trade in value, right? They trade, and where a lot of volume happens is HVM. That means the price was accepted there. So now when you zoom out, let's say we go on 3 hours. Well, price was, consolidating. I would say let's use this level right here, 274 to this level here, 369 for some time on ETH. You guys agree?
wow.
And we went below it, right? So you went below this level, and now it just sucks that it brings back everything. So it went below this level, and look, they tried to enter again. They didn't. They tried to enter again, and they didn't. And then I guess that 3 o'clock spike, they got back in. So now if you're a trader, right, let's say structural trader, you would come here and be like, okay, well, when you come back to that 74, I'm looking potentially to buy you because that, now we are looking for acceptance of that value. Because look how much time we spent since May 14th. Well, here, let's say May 15th till, I guess, what day is this? 29th. We spent a lot of time here. What is time? Time is a component of value. Time, price, and volume. Well, you spent a lot of time. Price, didn't really go discover much higher, and volume is there. I can do this real quick and see, right? Volume's here in upper distribution. And that 5274 that I just mentioned, look how the level repeats itself somehow differently. We just said 74.5, and what did I find with the fibs of that candle?
It's also the third sig on that upper distribution.
Yeah, there you go. So what you have and how you define your strategy might be different, but we should come to a similar conclusion because that's the market conclusion. If you're coming up with, this is a very good short right here, and I'm buying here, and obviously everybody else is buying here. Something's wrong with the structure of your strategy. Something's off. And that's what you need to make sure that, you know, when you're trading in your log, am I in directionally correct with the market is the first question when you start kind of grading yourself as a trader. Was anyone expecting a dump here at the prior week POC on Friday towards the later of the day? Honestly, was not. I was hoping, and that was my final target. I mentioned 52.11 multiple times that they're going to come there, and I said, man, not the level you want to short. And they came back and they bounced. Did I expect this? No. Did anyone expect this? No.
I don't think. I mean, I've
No,
heard so
you
many
talked
times.
about. No, you talked about when it broke the first time. The previous week POC that it was going to the value low, but after that, once it got back up, that was it.
If
Wouldn't
you
short
see
again.
any of these levels lose and regain, you want to watch out. And that
Right.
stands for higher, lower, middle being the POC. So, you know, if they, let's say, you know, wherever we close on Friday, we'll have to find it. Let's look here. Just make sure you're paying attention to that overnight inventory imbalance, because if we're far from it, you guys are saying that we're at 306-ish. So we closed somewhere here at 94.5. So we're 10 points away, right, from the close. Let's see, settle price. And for anyone new, why would this level matter for tomorrow? Why is the settle price might play a role for you tomorrow?
To see if we're net long or net short.
Yep. And if we're net long at open, what do you expect to see?
More buying.
Little sell off.
You want to see a little sell off. You want to see the rebalance. But if that sell off, imagine how how scary can this be tomorrow? We are net long tomorrow, and we come up to, let's say, I don't know, we come to this level here overnight at 9 o'clock, and then they sell this off all the way to here. What do you think that people that wake up at 9:45 would do at this level?
Short.
They would most likely short.
They're
if
gonna
you
get roasted.
Well, and then you have this M period spike base, and what do you expect other people to do? They're going to be buying, right? And if you're not, remember when you see price action that looks like this and the price is not going lower, well, smart shorts, let's say they got in here, what they're going to do here? They're going to close.
Close.
Yeah.
So they're going to initiate a little spike called a test above this consolidation, and then they're going to bring it back up. And these boys that are shorting at the bottom, when they see this, oh man, we're safe. Let me add more to my position short here. They add here. They're profitable here for 15 seconds, and then they whoop. And now they are part of that. They're part of their own losing strategy, right? It's the level that they're shorting. They're shorting the whole. There's nothing to short here, right? Instead of shorting at higher levels and extremes, they short the bottoms, right? And usually at support levels. So pay attention to this zone tomorrow as we come up. I would say this is going to be a pretty interesting zone to pay attention to in terms of retest for a long opportunity. I would like to see them not crack this and hit 22 overnight, but come and give us this range. Give us the 70 for a retest, and that would be a pretty nice long, in my opinion. Right. But if they open above it and they never look back, high chance we're just going to run to new all-time high. And I say that with such ease because that's what they've been doing.
Would you look for 22 for shorty, or
I would want to see them peak above it. I want to see them go above because POC means, you know, fair price, equilibrium of something. If we're trading at equilibrium below and I'm not getting a strong rejection immediately, right? That's a little scary to short. But if they go above and then they fail, they just confirm to me that the fair price is below this. And then I would look
above that
22,
25 zone?
Yeah, I want them to peak above that and then lose it. Yeah, because keep in mind here, there's a couple of poor lows they had. on daily profiles. So if you zoom in a little bit, this was poor low here. This one here is also a poor low, right? So I would just keep in mind that once they fix some of these things, where they might go. And this excess high on, I believe, what was it, 23rd? Yeah, 23rd is pretty massive here. And we've never actually revisit this level here. Right here, 53.42. That's a pretty big level here on ES, I would say. Thursdays, multi-ham access, daily profile. So cumulatively, right, if you look at the week, that's probably part of it, but this is not a bad level to look to close anything short. I would not look initiating any long opportunities in this range. There's nothing here for you to look long. Okay. And then when in doubt, I would always say this, when you're in doubt of something like, and you're not really sure what's going on, just zoom out a little bit. Right, so if you go here, let's say you look at the weeklies, and we'll increase this to 5, and you'll see here what's happening. Let's go. Here's your weekly. So you went to the bottom of this, right, which is 33. You came very close to this imbalance profile, 199. I think a couple of points short. And look now, just zoom out a little bit and see what's happening. You can clearly see that you're in a major balance here in all times, right? Just looking on the weekly. This is your bottom. This is your top here. You're just trading in a balance. Obviously, we haven't even hit the bottom of this range yet, like 173s, but I'm pretty sure it's coming. Right? They're gonna explore this area all around. I would say right here. They're gonna explore. Where's 174? Like this. This is going to be the area they're going to be trading in potentially for a longer period now. And if we crack this, then you know how to play it. We need a retest. We need confirmations that they want prices higher. But zoom out. A lot of times, a lot of traders suffer because they don't see the full picture. They zoom in so much, they lose the forest because of the trees. You see the trees, but you don't see the rest of the forest. And if you're a new trader, I would suggest that start looking more on higher time frames, understanding how the price does over a longer period of time, then a lower intermediate, then daily, and then your intraday, day-to-day profiles. It will make more sense. But this is definitely just a balance of 3 weeks, just like it was here, right? And to me, when you look at these profiles, 1, 2, 3, pay attention to how they look. Does this one compare well to this profile here? This and this? Double distribution, right? Looks good. Then you have a compressed profile here. Do you have a compressed profile here? Elongated profile here. And you close right in the middle of this one. So pay attention tomorrow. I would say, man, this close, this POC, and even if you find the middle of this range here, the excess high to the bottom, you might want to use that 50% of this range here, right? Just to see where they are and look where it's coming up at. Right here. It's the first sig. So multiple ways to skin it, but zoom out a lot of times would, I think, give you a clear picture on what's happening. And here's your weekly. If you want to change it, look at the monthlies, you could definitely do that. And it'll give you the same images, right, that you're looking for, right? So let's go on 4 hours. I'm just going to increase the, goes on 10. So here's your 3 months. And when you look at it, has price really made are we directionally changing behavior here? Not really. Price is just oscillating between the extremes, the bottom. But this move, once we break this 3-month balance here, it's going to be pretty wild. Probably additional 500 points, 300 to 500 points up or down from here. So right now, not much. And then when you look at this month of May, is there anything when you look at the profile that would stick out to you here? Focus on this profile here. And the only reason why I bring it up is start with the bigger picture, then go down. What is it telling you?
The value area is
top.
up higher.
Okay.
Sorry.
Looks like it's top heavy.
It's
A
top.
gap and single prints.
Yeah, there's a lot of gap in single prints, and the first one would start somewhere in this area, right? Once they lose this, that's going to be a big deal. Big deal in terms of market sentiment on higher time frames, on potential shift in the market happens once you lose this level. Because then, you know, they were top heavy, and if you're not making higher prices, but you're top heavy, what does that mean, KJ?
It's condensed. It may want to break down
Buying
or
or selling?
revisit.
Most
I'm
likely.
sorry, say it again.
I said it was buying or selling. It was most likely selling. If you're going up top and you're not able to put in higher highs now, and you can't, you know, get it back out, you're watching to see where they get accepted. You know, obviously the value area low and this value area higher matching, that'll be a really, really big level now, right? But once they crack that, you know, you're ultimately targeting 5,100. But this here is your confirmation that they're going to accept prices in the lower value. This here means that they're going to be trading in here. Instead of trading in the top, this would be their new zone if they can lose this green level.
Yeah, new range. Yeah.
And that doesn't mean take a trade level. It just means, hey, now we're accepting prices lower. Next time you come into a good setup, I'm looking for a short. Does that make sense? It's not a tradable level all the time, but it can be used to give you a lot of sentiment, right? In the market, because this is a monthly level, right? Not necessarily would be like, let me scalp off of it, right? You need to play it differently than, you know, a daily level. Okay. All right, guys. Well, that'll be it for me. I will see you guys tomorrow early. I'll trade. I'll hop in about maybe 9, 10 and cover NQ for you guys. And you could probably do the same on NQ. I'm 100% certain it had a spike bigger than ES.
It did not.
Really?
Yeah,
No,
same. Not the same.
It went to the top of the IB, but that was it. It stopped at IB high.
Oh. It didn't make it out of it?
No.
Wow.
I didn't realize that either.
Well, I expected that it was just going to be a massive on NQ.
No.
Well, not maybe looking at it.
Yeah, last week you were like, I'm not gonna look or trade NQ, and then all week you were trading.
Well, because I had it charted. I'm telling you, if I don't chart it, I don't look at it.
I understand.
I started to look at it, but I hadn't charted it. I got done with ES, but I looked at it and I saw that it just went to the IBI.
Listen, man, we're all trying to quit, all right?
Once it broke the IBL, once it broke the IBL at the bottom at 330, it didn't stop till all the way till 18,626.
Yeah, but I think that was
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Once it broke 416, it never stopped.
That does not look good.
I mean, it's not the most bullish profile, right? This is a pure short cover, I would say, profile, elongated B with the spike on the bottom. Because if it wasn't for this spike here, I mean, so you would take this out, take the M out, right? Keep going down. I mean, you're talking about, this would have been your selling tail.
Where's the spike base?
No, it doesn't have a spike. I'm just trying to, so this selling tail would have been 82 points.
Wow.
If it wasn't for that period there, right? So if it wasn't for M here to erase, and I typically say when remember when your single periods are pretty high, I say they usually come in and cut them in half. And that's worked a couple of times, I would say, in past few weeks. And here's your, so look at, I didn't mean to do that, I meant to do this. Look where they came here. They came in very close to the half of that, probably 61.8. Yeah, they came in right 61.8 and cleaned up all the single prints. So you still have access, right? Your access here is 601, right? Your access here is Still pretty big. I mean, this is pretty aggressive access high, guys. NQ is it stronger or weaker than ES?
Weaker.
Much weaker than ES, guys. Much weaker. And man, I just want to look at these single prints on it now. It has to have a few.
ES ended up like 0.8% on Friday. NQ was about even for the day from open to close, and I think the Dow was up about 1.5%.
Yeah, so they're not buying NQ, seems like. I would pay attention to this initial balance for NQ for next 2 days of this day here. See if they can hold this. But yeah, I mean, the value area high still shifted and, you know, lower, everything's lower. But they made it where they open and close is very close.
You mean Friday's initial balance, Shorty?
I would hold it on for Monday and Tuesday and see. Ideally,
Yeah.
if they crack above 634 here.
Yeah, 'cause that's pretty wide.
I mean, if you zoom out here and go on, let's say on weekly a little bit and just check it. Yeah, and Q is weird. You have to go higher time frames. Higher ticks, I'm sorry. So look at this now. You get any messages here on based on the prior week? Man, it is brutal. Zoom in a little bit here. Do I have to tell you what you need?
A ton of single prints.
Okay, you cleared the 784, new all-time high.
Well,
This is how it works.
Could you click that zone for me really quickly?
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
yeah, 784.
I don't. You guys can separate these, but I don't really care to separate them. For the C period, spending 5, yeah, it's not worth it. This becomes your zone here of separation. I'm interested to know where we are now. Are we above this or below it? Oh, we're still below it. This will be a really good short in NQ.
18,640 right now.
Yeah, this will be a really good short here, guys. Okay, well, let them. Oh, if they give me this where they go 783 and lose 754, I take it.
Full port.
This would be really good short opportunity here. So watch this. I honestly would. I expect them to hit this Monday or Tuesday, this level, maybe even tomorrow. I don't know if there's speakers. There should be a blackout actually on speakers.
That would be nice.
No, there's no more speakers allowed. I guess, I don't know, for a month or a little less than a month.
Well, we have some news.
I'm sure there's news, right? What's coming up, KJ? Or free?
Posted in the main chat.
I think it's like PMI or something. I don't
Just
remember.
posted it.
Thanks. Oh, I can't see that, man. That's so sweet.
Yeah, sorry, I gotta zoom it in.
Free has a good setup. Somehow she sees it. For dates. But I would definitely watch this on a smaller time frame on, you know, let me go here. There's, what is it, PMI? Just PMI. They're gonna make that sound good.
That's the wrong week too that I posted. Wow. Dino, what website is that?
Anyone trading overnight on the NQ?
No.
Small.
There's some druggies. I would look for a long overnight on NQ right here. You're gonna catch it here, 601 to 599. It'll be a really good overnight long. If they offer you this, maybe Burnside catches it. that you could catch this right here. So you'll be looking at,
This previous week value area low, right?
I haven't got. I'm trying not to chart everything on this one. But
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah, it is. I got it at 602, but yeah.
I'll do it.
You said 601 to what?
601 to 599. I mean, give it like to 591. I would say 601 to 591 would be pretty good here for a long this low zone.
Oh, gotcha.
So let's see. I mean, this is your man. There's a lot of crap here coming up, but 658. So this zone here, potential rejection here, access prior week value area low, access value area high, and now you're coming up here, with ETH, you're coming here into the zone. But ideally, you see how they have a nice single prints here overnight. Might not be a bad long here if they come into that range. You have a half back here and the opens up. I'll probably say.
Where would you put your stop on something like that?
That happens to be VWAP also.
I would put it probably somewhere below this here. Like if I catch 598, I would give it a little bit more points because I'm also expecting to catch. If I'm targeting, let's say this here, 130 points, just think about it. I have to give it a little bit more cushion. So if I'm playing 608, I'll probably want to give it somewhere 79.5.
Okay.
So something like this. If I could catch something like this, this would be good. Obviously, you could give them more here, right? Even if you do, let's say, statistically, if you give them this 562, you're still okay.
Yeah, under the volume node.
Yep.
Are there options that I can play on Nasdaq when you guys trade futures?
Pick QQQ.
QQQ. Okay, thank you. That's like the equivalent of like SPY for ES, right?
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, I
Yeah,
can't
US
believe I'm just learning
dollar.
that.
It wouldn't be bad to play always +1 DTE on it instead of 0.
Oh, I play like 2 or 3 weeks out, and I just take like a little bit of profit, or so it doesn't move as volatile on me.
When you're playing these day trades, like if I was to play this overnight, I would think they can do this tonight, right? And if they give me an opportunity, you could play, end of the week SPY where you get a little bit more for your return. Your risk's higher, but if you're comfortable over 3 weeks, I mean, you probably make 30-40%, which is excellent. I would definitely do that. Yeah. More time always costs more, but it's also safer a little bit.
Yeah, that's just why I'm doing it now, because I don't get as anxious when like the option just like goes up and down really fast, because it can't move as quickly.
Yeah. Well, I get it.
You got time.
I mean, but this level here is, you guys see how you have prior week halfback is sitting here at the midpoint at 605. The value area low is sitting at 73. So you asked me where would I put my stop loss? It's still at a valid spot here. Even if you put it here, this is pretty good. If I put it right below that, it's pretty good, right? You're talking about 3.7. But I'm assuming that I get an entry at 610, right? If I get it, that's 99, that reward gets massive upgrade, right? So it just depends how well they auction all the way to, but I would expect them to hit the zone here tonight. Yeah, there's a lot of poor highs here. There's a poor high here, 880. And this is I would say this is your distribution split right now, guys. If we go above this, we're gonna tap this right here.
Poor high means they want to visit it again so that they can get a completed auction, right?
That's correct.
Thank you.
So they're most likely targeting somewhere this zone here, 945, 934. So above 784, you're talking about quite a bit of points. 150 points upside from here.
And now, I could get 2-3 weeks out because it could take some time to play, right?
Yeah, but sometimes it doesn't, right? Prior time, it did not take much. They did it in like 2 days.
Right. Okay.
I mean, it's been moving crazy, right? The market's been a little hectic.
Yeah, I mean this range they've created is just so massive that they can like whip it back and forth, it seems.
Yeah. No, I like it. I honestly prefer these large brackets like they're giving right now.
Yep.
Yeah, it makes your use of volume profile so much stronger, I think, too.
Yeah, that's exactly it, because you have reference point. Okay, alright guys, well, I'll see you tomorrow morning. I slept 4 hours and 48 hours with kids in tent. They slept much better than
That sounds like fun.
it was not fun.
Thanks a lot, Shorty. Appreciate
The
it.
wife
man.
have fun?
No. Nobody has.
Did the kids have fun?
Two of them did.
Oh,
Okay,
you know
well,
they
there
do.
you go.
Yeah, two of them did. The youngest one was teething, so he was just crying.
Oh, poor kid.
Two neighbors left from the campsite. They couldn't handle it.
One way to get the camp to yourself.
Oh yeah, it was free, man. It was like, all right, nobody's here.
Nice.
All right, guys. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Good night.
Take care,
Shorty.
Shorty.
Shorty,
Have a
thank
good
you.
night, buddy. Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Night.
Night, man.
Bye bye.